Hello everybody, welcome back to Throttle Therapy. Today I'm going to try to do a gear lube change on my Maverick X3 Turbo RR. It's inside the shop. Just got done outside plowing snow, so there's still some snow on it, which you can see. But yeah, this thing works great as a snow plow, believe it or not. We had about 4 to 6 inches last night, and I got her all plowed up and decided I'd come out and do a video. This video is going to kind of show you where the drain plugs are. I'll give you the size, I'll give you everything that it goes into it, the kind of gear lube I use, and you know, just stuff like that. So let's get to it. So here we go. We'll start with the back one. Back one's the easiest. Takes a 17mm socket on a ratchet, and you got to get a pan down there because it's going to leak all over the place. Once you get it out, I'll show you exactly how much is in there, and then I'll show you how to fill it up and how much it's going to take to get that thing to where it's supposed to be compared to what they put in for it in the factory. So yeah, rear first. So in the back, there's 3 holes that go right across the very back here, and inside here is your drain plug. That's a 17mm. That 17mm will let the fluid drain out. So let's start getting it out of there. As you can see, I'm draining it into the pan. It's got a little bit of color to it, which is normal. I got some on the socket, so I'm going to have to wipe that off before I put it back together. But the interesting thing is going to be the oil plug, which I'll just show you here in a second. As you can see, I got the oil plug out, and if you look, there's some black stuff on there. That black stuff is 100% metal. It's to wear in. When you're getting a new machine, these things do wear a little bit, and you can see that's what came off of there. When you're doing this on your own, make sure you clean all the particles off. That's a magnet. It's there to grab the extra metal that comes off during the braking period. There you can see the magnet. So make sure you're doing that. Very important. Get all the grub off of it, and it's basically braking metal. They're always going to break in when they're brand new. It takes time to get everything to wear in where that's supposed to be. So when you do this the first time, expect to see metal on there. You're also going to see some in the fluid, which I'll show you in a second. Another quick thing, there's a metal ring right there. This metal ring was over top of that. Now, mine was on here the way it's supposed to be, but it can get stuck up inside the back there where the oil's coming out, or the gear lube's coming out. If this falls off and goes in the grease before you put this back together, you could lose it. So make sure that you put that back on. You'll be able to see on the side back there, outside there, you can see it's 2 pieces. Make sure you clean that off and you have that on there properly, because if you put the grease or put the plug back in and it doesn't have this on, it will leak. Remember, when you're putting this in, to start this with the socket first. It should go in easy, and you should be able to get it in there quite a ways before you snug it up. Now this thing is aluminum up inside here, so don't get crazy with your socket and crank this thing down. You will strip it if you're not careful. So just get it on there, get a good straight, make it snug, and just give it a little bit more. That's it. If you push it all the way, you will strip it out. Another thing too is there's going to be grease up inside here. No matter what you do, no matter how much you clean it, you're going to leak a little bit. I take a little bit of brake clean, squirt it down the edges and of the plastics here, and it's going to leak out, and you will be happy if you get it out of there, because otherwise it's going to get on your shop floor or whatever. So yep, let's get to the next part. One of the things that you need to be aware of too is what kind of lube you're putting in there. My town, they don't have a ton of options, so I'm using a Valvoline product. It's a 75-140 full synthetic. I wouldn't put anything else in anything that I have but full synthetic. There's lots of people out there going to be like, well, you could use this kind or you can use that kind, Royal Purple or Amsoil or whoever. It's good stuff. I mean, it is. Amsoil's great oil. Royal Purple, great oil. Redline, great oil. Really expensive. And if you're doing maintenance properly, you probably don't need to be using that expensive of stuff, but it's kind of what you like and what you dislike and what you want to use. So make sure that you put something in there you like. I like full synthetic. I won't put anything in any of my stuff except for full synthetic. It's, as far as I'm concerned, 1,000 times better. Makes things last. And remember, everything is wear. You're wearing metal on metal, and this stuff is the only thing that you can use that's gonna stop it from wearing. To fill the back, there's a plug on the back side. So as you can see, I'm in the engine compartment and I'm on the passenger side in the back. There's that plug right there. That plug has to come out, and that's how you fill it. This is not the motor oil. Just so everybody knows, that is not the motor oil. The motor oil is on the other side, and it's a lot of fun to get to. And I'll show that in another video someday. But yeah, this is the rear end grease. You can see it's hooked to the transmission. So that's the one that you're supposed to fill up right there. The motor's over here. Don't mix it up. You will wreck your machine. As you can see, it has a hex head on it for getting it out. 17 millimeter works just like the other one. This is plastic. It wasn't in there very tight, so when you go put it back on, don't gorilla this thing on, because those plastic threads will strip right out. Has an O-ring to stop it from leaking. Pretty simple. Tells you what it is. Rotax gives you the indication right there where it's supposed to be filled to. So you got to fill it up so it's right between those two lines. I wouldn't suggest going over. Get it right about there, because if you get it over, it's going to leak out through the vents and things. So make sure you're right in that area. So one of the things I commented earlier was they don't put a lot of fluid in these when they get it to you. My DS had a ton less fluid than this one did. As you can see, this one had quite a bit of fluid, probably the proper amount in it. You can also see that this is some pretty shiny stuff. This has got a lot of metal in it from break-in, and that's just about, I'd say there's probably about 300 miles on it. So that's actually quite a bit of metal. You can see it in there, the different colors. And this is all break-in, so it's normal. Don't worry about it. This is what happens when they break in. You can see the different colors of shininess in there. Okay, they filled it up, and to say the least, I kind of screwed up. The top didn't get down on there good tight, and I spilled most of it onto the plastics there, so I'm gonna have to brake clean living daylights out of it. But I did fill it up, and as you can probably see, it's right in there. It's draining off, of course, but it is full right to the top of the thing. I've checked it 3 times. Again, this is plastic. I don't recommend that you get crazy and you know, torque down on it super tight. Hand tight is probably all it needs. All right, now I'm gonna move to the front. Yeah, I'm in a mess. When I was putting the oil in the back, I had the regular top that comes with it on here, and it went everywhere. It went all over the floor, it went all over the skid plate, so I had to clean a whole bunch out, and I had to go to town and buy another one. So moved to the front, and this will be a little bit easier because this wonderful $4 piece of equipment from Walmart will work great. I can put it in there and I can drain it in, and this front one is one that it comes out of there when it's full, so you're gonna leak some out. I haven't got the bottom open yet. I was gonna show you, but I got it loose, and we'll see how much it's got in it. This one is up in that front hole right there. Same thing with this one. If you look, this front plug, it's pretty small, but it has a whole bunch of black stuff on there. Again, that's wear-in from the wear-in period of this. This one, the front end's got a lot more in it. That's metal shavings and stuff. And again, it's normal. This is break-in, so I'm not worried about it at all. You can see I'll clean this off real quick. I got it cleaned off. You can see the magnet on the end there. Got quite a bit of black stuff off of it. That's pretty much everything. That's all metal shavings. So yeah, now it's time to fill it up. Again, this one, you fill it up on the passenger side, just like you did the back, except for this one is right there, right next to the axle, right in between the frames, so it's a lot of fun to get to. So yeah, I'll get that loose and we'll fill it up after we put the plug in. So yeah, we'll put the plug in, and once we have the plug in it and I'm happy that it's tight and snugged up, I'll take the side one off there to fill it up. And again, you fill this one up until the fluid leaks out. So put your pan underneath there, because you're gonna have some leaking out, and brake clean will be your friend on this one. So as you can see, it's out, and yeah, pretty much when it comes out of there, that's when it's full. This front end doesn't hold as much as the back end does. Okay, it's definitely leaking out of there now. I always start it by hand. Everything I start by hand. If you can't get in there with your hands, you've done something wrong. And just FYI, this one was super tight. It took everything I could do to get this on there. One major thing, I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, so that plugs in, but I dropped it down there. And don't drop it. Whatever you do, do not, under any circumstances, drop that thing down into that abyss right there, because you're not getting her out of there very easily. I just worked on it for over an hour and got it out, but yeah, no fun. So we got all the lube in it. We got the front end and the rear end changed out. There was a lot of metal in there. There was a lot of black on both ends. But, you know, I got it done, and it took about an hour, except for I dropped the front plug for the filling hole down inside, and yeah, it wasn't good. So yeah, a bunch of magnets and a whole bunch of stuff later, I finally got it out of there, and it is in and torqued down. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'm pretty available. I mean, I'm doing this for fun. So yeah, I hope everybody has a great day, and hit like, and if you feel like subscribing, there's going to be a lot more stuff coming down the pipe, including this, which, excuse the mess, but this is about to get started here in the next month or two, and this is what's going in there. freshly rebuilt 496. Yes, I know the valve cover says 572. It identifies as a 572. But it is our 496 big block, and if everything goes well, it will be setting right there in the next month. And then as soon as the thaw hits and I get it all wired up and we do some more work to it, because we've been kind of doing a little bit here and there. Had to fix some things because the headers didn't fit right. Whole bunch of stuff, but hopefully we'll get there. And yeah, so it'll be fun. And throttle therapy doesn't mean just side-by-sides. It means anything that goes fast, because that's what I live for. I live to go fast. I live to have fun. I'll wreck some stuff. Hopefully not that boat, because that's going to hurt. But yeah, we'll be going out to Wyoming this spring, and we'll be taking the side-by-sides and getting some great footage and some pictures. And like I said, this whole summer, spring into fall is going to be side-by-siding, boating, having some fun. I'll be doing some trail ride stuff so that you guys can see what the trails are like in Minnesota, Wyoming, probably Wisconsin next year, Montana the following year. We're just going to keep going. So like and subscribe, and you'll see all the trails and all the fun, and hopefully I get better at this. So until then, take care, and thanks for watching.